Okay, so now we're going to pause the recording and we're going to see what actually happens with the summary feature on the device. Yes. So you basically just save.
Yes.
And then what happens?
So once you save, it's part of all your recordings, right? So this was what we were recording. So you just press and hold, and then a menu pops up here saying transcribe. So once I tap on transcribe, it asks me what language I want to transcribe in. I just click on English, and then it will work its magic, and then
so what we're seeing now is
yes, so let me,
that magic feature.
Exactly. Let me turn my data on because it uses data to do the transcribing.
Right. Okay. So you require, it's not done on device.
On device. It's actually done
in the cloud.
In the cloud. That is for this particular one.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So
I think one of the things I would also want to find out is what is the percentage of cloud computing in terms of transcription, in terms of translation that happens as against what is done on device, mainly from a security point of view and all of that.
So after this, I'll take you through another process. Usually there's an option where you can turn off online processing. You understand? For security reasons. Because the whole mobile device is all about security because you might never know who is watching your personal data. You understand? So there's an option to actually turn off online processing, but then you'll just be limited to
on device.
Yeah, on device information.
So we can see the transcription here.
Yes.
Obviously, it's divided it into speaker 1 and speaker 2. Now, for example, there's a sentence, we have the Asians in 3, which is actually among the staff of the lack of better. That is one of the challenges now. And it's something that I wanted to get into. The conversation around accents and different people speaking different types of English. For one, how is the Galaxy AI able to work around that? Because I can clearly tell even from here, because we never spoke about Asians, I can see Asians here. How does that work?
So yes, it's still there are updates coming upon updates to help refine this. If I could give you an example, you realize that when you're using the Google Map,
yes,
there are some locations and intonations the Google Map cannot mention. However, Google Map is actually one of the best map applications out there. They've been in existence for long, so it has to do with time. Over time, it will refine it very well and then just pick.
Now, which brings me to my other issue. Yes, AI is incredible, but just like we found out, there is obviously a language issue here. And even from the transcription, I can imagine what was this. You had to switch on the data to be able to do this. So I can imagine when it is being done on device, what those limitations will be. But then even beyond that, when you think about what is happening both on device and in the cloud, the security associated with it and all of that, it just makes me wonder in a Ghanaian context how beneficial this potentially will be. Because you go to a meeting, there are people from different tribes, it just makes it difficult for me to understand. I mean, I understand how, and it's clear that it's working, it's just how effective it will be for someone who owns the device.
So, true. I mean, here in Ghana, we have, our data, it's not as optimum as the Western world, but then we are still getting there. Now, the cool thing about this recording is it works offline and online. You understand? It complements each other. Now, the reason why I had to turn on all my data was it was on airplane mode.
Right.
So it's like everything was shut.
Okay.
So I had to just deactivate the airplane mode for it to work. Right. You get it? But then there are some other features on there that work offline. So like the live translation, like I said, is offline. You just need to download the language pack and then that's it. When you're talking, it's there. However, they keep refining the languages, the tonations, the phonetics. So then there are some updates from time to time that you need to update. Right. You understand? And then basically, yes. So we have the offline voice interpretation. Okay. The live translation is offline.
Which is a separate pack you need to download.
No, so the live interpretation is already on device.
On device.
That you also need to download
the language pack.
The language pack.
Right.
Now, let's assume you're in Togo.
Right.
They speak French.
Right.
You understand? You're talking to maybe a taxi driver. you don't need to call the taxi driver for the live translation to work.
Right.
You need an offline application that could work, and then that's where the interpretation comes. That is offline.
Okay.
Because once you download the language pack, it's offline.
You're
you
good.
can just talk to the person, and then
it does the translation.
And then once the person also talks, it translates back
to you.
Understand?
I just want to clarify something. When you call someone and you are speaking to them, do they hear the new language or the language, their language in terms of the translation, or is it like a voice note type thing that comes in and then the translation happens?
So with the live translation, it comes in two folds. You get the transcribed version, where it converts it in text. The person hears it in their language, and then you hear it in your language. Now there's an option to either turn on or turn off for the person to hear in your language first before their language, or they just hear it in their language. Exactly. Right. So that is how it works. However, like you made mention, it's still under refinement, because then there are some people who talk fast, there are some people who talk slow, and then the phonetics are different. Somebody speaking French in Togo is different from someone speaking French in maybe France. You understand? It varies.
The dialects are different.
Exactly. So these are things that are being refined over time.
Something that Samsung did some years ago with the serif, the TV, and the content from there. You collaborated with local designers and artists to create content for the gallery. Is Samsung looking at doing something similar in terms of, since the AI direction is where you want to get into and invest more into, is Samsung looking at doing more in terms of, from a language point of view, for example, with regards AI and things like, because sometimes the local context is missing, right? With the AI, is Samsung looking at doing something like that, just like you did, for your TVs, where you had local artists, work their magic for the TVs?
Regarding the language pack, this S24 was in collaboration with Google.
Yes.
You understand? Yeah. So back in 2017, 2018, is it 2016, 2017, 2018? One of them. If you check Google Translation, there was no Hausa, there was no Twi, there was no Ghana, there was no. But then over time, there is now. So it's actually a process. There's this Institute of Language Association, I don't know if I get it right, that work on language variations and then send to Google to onboard. So that actually depends on them. As and when it's available, that's when they onboard it to the platform. However, we only support 15 languages now, but over time they want to expand to 35 languages. I'm sure.
As in globally?
Globally, yes. It's just 15 languages now. Globally. Okay. As time goes on, they'll roll out they'll onboard other languages onto the language packs.
Just to get a bit of clarity, how much of this AI works in the cloud as against on device? So when I buy the phone, how much of the AI capability is cloud-based and how much of it is handset-based?
So if I'm right, it's 50-50.
Okay.
Because then we have the circle to search, which actually uses the Google search.
Right.
That is cloud-based.
Cloud-based, right.
We have the AI summary, which works. We have the internet-based AI summary.
And then on-device.
And then on-device one. So it's 50-50. However, just the interpretation and then the live translation actually works on the device.
Right.
So it's actually 50-50. Because then in the photo assist tool, there's some that works on the cloud base and then there's some that works on the device. Because then we have what we call the generative AI on the device, where if you want to
change the position of someone,
yes, it needs to generate another image to replace
what you have.
So that is actually cloud-based. And then we have what we call the object eraser, where I can erase you completely.
That's on device.
On device, right. So it's 50-50.
I see. So yes, I mean it's things like that also interest me. Those image manipulation. I mean, I think I saw it in the keynote around how Samsung and Google are going to work to ensure that images that are manipulated using the device are marked as well. How important is that in the grand scheme of things?
No, it definitely needs to be marked, because you might never know. In as much as it has a positive, there are pros. There's definitely the cons as well. Understand? Because then you might not know who is using the device actually. I might reposition a document from somewhere to somewhere, maybe tweak something, and then it will have some legal
add people who are not in the photo.
It will have legal implications.
Yeah.
Now I showed something to my friend. I generated an image. I showed it to him. There was the sticker, the AI sticker there. He actually thought he could actually crop it out, but then that is embedded in the image data. So if anybody with a tech savvy background can actually check and then know that, okay, this is a generated image. You understand? So the whole security is actually key to us when it comes to the image manipulation.
I see. Right. So we have 3 devices.
Yeah.
Walk us through these 3 devices.
Okay, so this is the Ultra. Usually when Samsung says Ultra, this actually packs the whole punch. You understand? So with a 200 megapixel ultra wide, with the telephoto lens, where you're able to zoom in.
Which one is which?
So the 200 megapixel is this. The telephoto lens is this. We have what we call the AF sensor. This is what is able to track the depth sensor, and this is also another telephoto lens as well. So now we have ultra wide. The human eye is able to see 123 degrees, right? So this phone is also able to see 123 degrees. Gone are those days you have to tell people move back to take pictures. So with this you don't have to do that. And then the 200 megapixel is what comes with the whole packs the punch. You being able to shoot in HDR, and then post the same HDR on your social media. Understand? So yes, and then this is my personal favorite color, and then this is the color I'm actually using because it comes 2 tones. So the titanium violet, and then comes with a titanium gray finish, and then this is the plus. So for people who 24 plus. So this is for someone who doesn't want a phone that's too big or too small. So in between. Now this comes with a 4,900 milliamp battery capacity. The previous one was 4,700. So this is an upgrade of 200 milliamp. And then now this also brags with a Super AMOLED display, Quad HD Super AMOLED display. So the same display you get on the Ultra is what you get here now. You understand? So the display is bright, and then it gets so bright. The high brightness mode of this is 2,600 nits. You don't have to be walking under the sun and then checking out your device.
It.
Exactly. And then this device is actually amazing.
What's the armor about?
So the armor on aluminium. So for this is armor on aluminium. This is titanium.
Right.
Now the titanium is actually the strongest metal on it.
Of course.
Exactly. And the armor on aluminium is actually the material used in building plane craft. You understand? So it's actually very durable. And then the screen is also Amon Gorilla Glass. You understand? It means that it's very durable. It doesn't mean that you should go about dropping your devices, scratch it. Now
this is the budget version.
This is the budget version, exactly. Okay. Obviously the budget version, but still packs a punch. Right. You understand? It also comes with the AI. The AI features actually work on all of the devices. So this is 4,000 milliamp. Also comes with a 50 megapixel camera, and also has the telephoto lens, which is the 5 mega, and then also the ultra wide as well. So with this you also get the same features as the Ultra gets, just that the Ultra comes with a 200 megapixel. So and then the rest comes with a 50 megapixel wide. But with the whole AI working on these devices, they actually process images very well. You understand? So
whichever one you have.
So based on your budget, you can actually get any of the S24s, because even this comes in different variants. Because we have the 128 version and the 256. And then with the price bracket, this comes in 256 and then 512, and then this comes from 1 terabyte to 256.
I see.
You understand?
I
Yes.
see.
So depending on your budget, you can actually get any of those devices.
With everything that we've seen, with the pricing, with the AI, with the capabilities, with the processing, everything else, is there anything else?
So basically, Samsung actually cares about your pocket. You understand? One, that's the main reason why we launched varieties of models from the A series to the S series. You understand? To fit any pocket, any budget you have. Now, we also in February, latter part of February, March, we'll be introducing what we call the trade-in, where you can bring your old Galaxy devices and some iPhone devices to trade in for the Galaxy S24 Ultra. At a discounted in price, you understand? And also in the latter part of the year, we want to introduce what we call the EIP, where you pick a device and then pay over time as well. So that is also something you should look out for. Well, if you want an excuse to get a new phone, you have one. If you don't have a phone that you can be proud of, you have a reason to get one. And if you're looking to upgrade, well,
upgrade now, because clearly this is a device that is worth keeping an eye on. I'll see you in the next one.